Good evening, everyone. I, Gurneet Singh, welcome you all to this webinar session on Lead Green Associate. If you have any query, questions, the idea is that we are able to answer those questions related to Lead GA exam. Let me just introduce you to the speaker for today. But can you move to the next slide? Yeah. So today we have Gaurav with us, and I am there, and then I have my colleague Deepa, who heads the Lead Sustainability Education Initiative at EDS. Let me just take few minutes to introduce Gaurav. So Gaurav is a USGBC faculty and is an associate director, market development, North India. He specializes in existing building operation and maintenance, and has been working with US Green Building Council, the certifying agency. Overall, he has experience of more than 15 years in green building design, energy efficiency in India, in Bangladesh, and other Asian countries. He has keen interest in sustainability, energy efficient building design, and carbon management. And in his experience, he has worked on different kinds of projects ranging from factories, hospitality project, commercial buildings, and other. So he is an alumni of MNIT Manipur and has got a MBA Finance and Marketing degree from NIT Kurukshetra. He is a lead auditor for EMS and has been associated with various international organizations on sustainability, like UN Habitat and other agencies. Personally, he is more than so we share a more than a professional relationship. He is a good friend of mine, and it's always a pleasure to have Gaurav in these Lead GA sessions. Thank you, Gaurav, for accepting that invitation to address the queries of people who are planning to take the next step in this to get into this LEED credential thing. So over to you, Gaurav.
Thanks, Gurneet. Thanks for the kind introduction. I'm really happy to be a part of all these sessions. So I'll just start with a small introduction about my organization and also how in the last couple of years I have been associated with sustainability in the built environment, and also in terms of how this has been beneficial to me and in my career growth. So I hope you can see my screen. Can you confirm if you can see my screen?
Yes, we can see your screen.
Okay, thanks. So the organization I'm representing is GBCI, which is the Green Business Certification Institute. We are a certifying agency, and we are a certifying arm of US Green Building Council. So US Green Building Council started almost 25 years back in US, but it's a global organization, and we have offices across all the major continents, and our presence is more than 167 countries. So as I mentioned that we are a certifying agency and we have presence all across in various countries. So we have our headquartered office in India for GBCI India, and we are headquartered in Delhi NCR, which is Noida. I take care of the market development for GBCI, and my role is to take care of the North India market. And like me, there are other colleagues of mine who are taking care of various other markets, West, East, South, and we're also looking at the Bangladesh market and Middle East market. So idea is basically to work with various stakeholders, whether it is organizations like EDS, or we work very closely with the universities, education institutes, clients, major clients like DLF and Delhi Metro. We are associated with them. We consider ourselves as knowledge partner. So our role is to provide all the knowledge in terms of the sustainability in built environment, and we come out with various rating systems. It's a process which is been there for last 20 years, and it has been updated almost every 5 years. So I'll take you through our major rating system is LEED, which you can see on the screen. The LEED means leadership in energy and environmental design. But then we have other rating systems also that are either owned by us, developed by us, or we have partner organizations like World Bank, where we work very closely with World Bank and IFC on the EDGE rating system. I can say it's a lighter version of LEED. Then we have other rating systems that have been developed by other organizations like Well Rating System, developed by IWBI, and we are a certifying agency. So the idea is to work very closely with all the stakeholders in all these rating systems. So as I mentioned, LEED is basically a leadership in energy environment design. So if you see that it is focusing on the environmental aspect as well as the energy aspect. So it's a full-scale rating system which is point-based, and what we do is that we are looking at various markets across the world. So as I mentioned, that we have presence in 167 countries, but more than that, we have around 1,000 projects, and then we have stakeholders like you, like EDS, working professionals, students who are able to take credentials like LEED Green Associate or LEED Accredited Professionals. These are the stakeholders who work very closely with either with their own teams or their own stakeholders, or they work closely with the clients, education institutes, possibly manufacturing units. These professionals, working professionals or students, can have specialization in architecture, engineering. They can even be in finance, or they can even be in facility management. So what the idea was that to also showcase to the audience today that globally we have more than 200,000 LEED professionals. But when we see these numbers compared globally to global aspect, the numbers are just 1,000 LEED professionals. So we see that the built environment, which is right now in India, almost 66% is to be constructed. So with that, if you look at the sustainability, we still are lagging behind in terms of the LEED professionals who can take this into the next phase. So what we do, we work very closely with organizations like EDS, who are our education partners. We are very proud to be having an association with EDS. They are able to conduct these kind of courses with various students and working professionals, and they prepare students to appear for LEED Green Associates. We are very proud that already one batch has been completed in the last few weeks, and various attendees from those sessions have already appeared, and I'm really proud also to share with you that I think more around 100% is a plus percentage, which means anybody who had attended the session from EDS and they appeared, they cleared their LEED Green Associate exam. So thank you, EDS, for this marvelous work that you have been doing in the education. So the idea is basically to share with you that we are looking at LEED professionals, and if we see, I'll actually take you to the next slides. So if we see that LEED is a global rating system, but what we have done is that we have also tried to customize it to regional, local aspects. So what we do, we work with all our stakeholders, and we try to take the feedback from the stakeholders, and we also try to engage them. So what we do, that we have adapted certain standards which are local standards. This way, we are able to work closely with BE, ISHRE, and we are also try to come up with alternate compliance pathways so that the local aspect should be considered into the rating system. So the other important aspect is that LEED works for all spaces, which means LEED can be adapted for any project at any stage of the construction or operation. So to make it simple, any project which is at the design stage, when an architect conceptualizes, a project can start looking at the LEED certification. As I mentioned, it's a point-based system. There are certain guidelines which we have created, and the project needs to implement. Certain credits are mandatory and certain credits are you can consider them as optional. So depending upon your level, your project's aspiration, the client's aspiration, you can look at the various levels of certification. But more than important that is that, as I mentioned, that LEED works for all spaces, which means that any project which is at a stage of, as I mentioned, a construction, but even when it's commissioned and it's operational, at that stage also a project can look at the certification. They can look at a regular improvement of the project. So that's called operation and maintenance. And we, as I mentioned, we can also look at large spaces like cities, communities, township. So from a small project like a small space in an interior fit out of a building to a large community to a large city can also be considered for LEED certification. So in terms of education, there are 3 levels of credentials. The basic level, the tier 1, is the LEED Green Associate, which is the program that LEED with the EDS team is going to conduct in the next couple of weeks. Then would come, that's because the foundation course. Next level, the tier 2, would be the LEED accredited professional, which can be a specialization into building design and construction, which is BD plus C, to any other specialization. As a matter of fact, it can be operation maintenance or interior design and construction. So you can look at any specialization depending on your requirement. And the tier 3 level is the LEED fellow. LEED fellows are the professionals who have been in the industry in the have an experience of more than 10 years. They have been maintaining the credentials, and they have working closely not only with USGBC and GBCI, but also they are able to engage with the government and they're able to provide policy framework. So again, really proud that EDS does have a LEED fellow, Mr. Tanmay Tathagat. He's a LEED fellow, and in India we have not more than 8 LEED fellows, and EDS has one of those. Also, in terms of education at USGBC, so what we see, we have also done certain surveys, and we also try to identify what kind of benefit a LEED would give it to a professional. And here we did come out that a lot of hiring did depend upon if you are maintaining and if you're actually able to achieve your credentials. So the hiring decisions are dependent upon that. Also, I thought this is a good idea to share my personal story and how in the last 15 years, what motivated me to become a LEED professional and what was my career path. So what I would like to share that when I was hired after my graduation, it was a startup, and the person was an expat. He came to India, and he started with organization which was called E3. I was one of the first employees, and when I joined him, I didn't have much an idea about LEED. It was very early stages of sustainability. India was just starting with LEED certification at that stage. So the day I joined the organization, he mentioned to me that the basic requirement is to go for a LEED accredited professional, and he handed me a guidebook. And from there onward, I was able to sit for an examination in a couple of months. That time, unfortunately, education programs like this, which EDS is conducting, was not there. We had to do a lot of self-study, self-motivation was required. But now, fortunately, EDS has come out with this kind of sessions where a lot of guidance is provided to the students and to the participants, and you can achieve the LEED associated credentials in, I think, in the first attempt. Now, when I was able to clear my LEED in associate and the LEED AP, my the I was able to move into certain other organizations where I was heading sustainability, and then now I am a part of USGBC, and it was one of my dream jobs to be part of USGBC, and I think LEED helped me in achieving that goal when I joined this industry, and I'm very fortunate that I was able to sit the examination in the early stages of my career. So this is what has helped me in terms of this is another survey that we had conducted, and this was the founding. It definitely, LEED definitely would give you a competitive edge in the market, and this is going to be really helpful in the long run. Whether you're an architect who's designing projects, whether you're a student, whether you're a mechanical engineer, this is definitely going to enhance your skill sets, and it's going to take you a long way in your career path. So with this, I would close my session and I would hand it over to Deepa. At the end of the session, we'll have the Q&A, and I would be more than happy to answer your queries. Over to you, Deepa.
Thank you, Gaurav. Now I will hand it over to Gurmeet.
Yeah, thank you, Deepa. I hope you are able to see my screen.
Yeah, we can see.
Thank you, Gaurav, for this introduction. It was really good. I hope this will motivate many of them to take this step of going towards LEED GA. Before we get into the details of the program which Deepa will be taking, I thought it will be good to brief you about EDS because you are planning to attend this course, planning to enroll this course. So it's important to tell you about EDS. Just I'll take a couple of minutes. So basically, we are a sustainability consulting firm which works in built environment. This is a snapshot or pictures of our office in New Delhi. We started in 2003, so in India, and we were fortunate enough to be part of first 100 buildings in India which got certification. At present, we have a team of around 5 plus people. The team consists of architects, engineers, HVAC, electrical, and plumbing. And till date, we have executed around 400 plus projects. We have our office in New Delhi, and we have a team of around 15 people in Mumbai. Then one of our senior associate director, he is operating from Netherlands and looking into the EU region. And we also have a partnership with firms in Bangladesh and Washington, DC. This slide is not updated, but we are LEED proven provider. This is the status given to organization based on the quality of submission that USGBC get from this organization. So we are LEED proven provider for operation and maintenance, for interior design, and I just got the news that we also got this for new construction, that is BD plus C. I think everyone is aware that we are education partners. I am a USGBC LEED faculty. Deepa is a USGBC LEED faculty. So we are education partner with USGBC since 2016. In terms of our credentials that our people carries, so we have got LEED AP, 16 LEED APs. Then we have got Green Associate. My senior, Mr. Tanmay Tathagat, is LEED Fellow. Then we have got IGBC AP, Griha evaluators. True is the rating system by GBCI, which talks about waste management, zero waste management. And we also have certified measurement and verification professional in our team, and 4 professionals who have this well accredited professionals, where it talks about wellness and health being. And then we have got a certified ground source heat pump designer and Microsoft specialist. So we also work on IT tools related to built environment. So in this slide, I will take you through the kind of services that we provide. So we work in high performance building design. So anything which is aiming at net zero or want to bring in efficiency, we work on that, on all the aspects related design optimization to HVAC optimization, electrical and plumbing optimization. Then we work closely with various agencies on policy advisory services like USAID, CLASP, UNDP, World Bank, USGBC. So where we work with them in doing some research or in preparing some manuals or developing some codes. So the energy conservation code was a part of this vertical. Then for existing building, we provide commissioning and audit services. If any project requires next level of simulation like CFD analysis or glare analysis, we work in that area. Technology service, as I briefed, that we develop analytical tools and web app portals, but all related to built environment. So related to buildings, like when I joined EDS, at that moment I got the chance to develop a tool for glass salespeople. In that tool, based on the regression curve, the salespeople were able to evaluate the glass based on thermal, based on wind, based on acoustic, and on energy parameters. So it was really good experience. And the last but not the least, capacity building and education. So we offer different kinds of training program. There are like online learning courses, self-paced courses, blended learning program. So this LEED GA program will be conducted in this format. And we also provide customized courses for organization, or if there is a project team who is aiming for green for their building. These are some of the snapshot just to show that we believe in that you really need to clear the concept. So all our training programs are designed in such a way that you achieve a clarity in the concepts, and then you move forward with analysis or simulation part. So we try to develop small tools for the training program, which helps the participant in clearing their concepts. This is a screenshot of our education online self-paced education library. So we have got around 70 plus courses, out of which 40 plus are certified by GBCI. They carry the CER's credits. We also tried and have got good number of courses in different languages. So we have courses in Spanish, we have courses in Urdu, we have courses in Bangla. So if anyone over here, we would be happy to get a feedback on that. So these are all video courses, and they are made on different topics, varying from understanding sun to water to renewable. So there is a whole library of 70 plus courses. Now coming to LEED, I'll just give a brief intro on that. LEED, I think every one of us are aware. It stands for Leadership in Energy and Environmental Design, and this is the most widely used rating system across the world. It was developed by one of the pioneers of the green building movement, which is US Green Building Council, or the USGBC. It is a non-profit organization which was founded in 1993 and that is committed to help the world shift to a prosperous and sustainable future, basically through cost-efficient and energy-saving green buildings. So the whole focus is on making an cost-efficient and energy-saving green building. At the core of this lies USGBC believes that better buildings are places that complement our environment and enhance our communities. These are the places that give people better, brighter, and healthier spaces to live, work, and play. Presently, GBCI has also worked on living standards, so that talks about a healthier space where a person can live, work, and play. Let's understand the professional credential systems which is awarded by GBCI. This is a 3-tier system. The foundation, the primary foundation credential is LEED Green Associate, which is followed by accredited professional. And these professionals are, this accredited professional is with specialty. So if you see, there is LEED AP BD plus C, that means building design and construction. O plus M is operation and maintenance. ID plus C is interior design and construction. ND is neighborhood development, and homes, I think it's self-explanatory. The third level or the final credential is the LEED Fellow, which is awarded through a peer review process. That means you have to submit your application will be scrutinized, will be reviewed by peers, and then if they feel that you have done enough for the green community and for basically advocating green thing in your community, then you get this LEED Fellow credential. This program basically is for LEED Green Associate. This basically denotes proficiency in sustainable design, construction, and operation standard. LEED Green Associate exam, basically it's an exam which measures your knowledge of green building practices and how you can support others working on LEED projects. With this pandemic around and lockdown around, now you can take LEED exam from home. So if you have good internet connection, Prometric has established this Pro Doctor or Pro Agent. Along with that, you can take the exam from home. So that's the great thing about the action that GBCI has taken because of this pandemic and lockdown. Now I think over to you, Deepa.
Right. Thank you so much, Gurneet, for the overview of EDS. Show the screen. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, and also thank you, Gaurav, for that, setting the context and also talking about what GBCI and USGBC does, and of course, your personal journey as well. So now I'm going to talk about this 2-week online course that we have prepared in order to help you prepare for the LEED Green Associate exam. So this introduction webinar is to tell you what to expect in this course, what is it that we are covering, and if any questions that you have, please send in the chat box. We will take it at the end of the session. So this is a 2-week online program. This will start on 24th August until 6th September. We are very happy to bring the second round of program, which will start on 24th. The first batch happened on 22nd June. until 4th July. And we were really happy to have 99 participants in that program, majority of them being professionals from all over the world across 8 countries and about 36 cities in India. So we had a very vibrant peer group in this batch of 99 people who currently they are also a part of that class is already active. They're taking some of the practice tests right now. And a lot of them have already cleared the exam with stellar scores, and we're very proud of them. This is some of the feedback from participants about the structure of the program and how it's helped them kind of learn and prepare for the exam while they were either working or studying full time. So the spirit of our program is that you don't need to take a break in order to just prep for the exam. We've designed it in such a way that you can prepare for it in a very in a pace that is best suited for someone who's busy full time and yet can clear the exam. So coming back to our exam, I'll start with throwing a little bit more light on the GA exam. As Gurneet mentioned, there are 2 aspects that the LEED GA exam would test. First is the general knowledge on green building practices, and second is how to support other professionals who are working on LEED projects. So with that, there are largely 3 aspects that you would need to know and that this program will prepare you with all the knowledge that is required. So one is fundamentals of green buildings. And then, of course, in order to support the LEED project, you would need to know something about LEED, right? So you would need to know about LEED process and LEED core concepts. That covers a lot of credit categories. And with that, you should be able to give the GA exam and clear it as well. Now, in terms of the exam, what it will test. It would test a recall value. You would need to recall some of the factual material, but largely it's application and analysis. So you would really need to apply the knowledge that you've learned through the study material into answering the exam. Who can take the exam? Anyone. There is no specific eligibility requirement. Students are also eligible to give the GA exam. And the cost of the exam is $250 for non-members and $200 for USGBC members and $100 for students. This exam cost is to be paid directly to GBCI while you register for the exam. Our program is preparing you to give this exam, and so our program does not cover this cost. The exam itself is a 2-hour timed exam with 100 questions. All of them will be multiple choice. And there are no negative or partial credit system. So you can attempt all the 100 questions. And even if you're not sure, you should attempt the question. And the minimum score to become a LEED GA is 170 on 200. Now, before I jump into what is going to be covered in our online course, I just want to reiterate that all our course content, whether it's LEED GA exam preparation or any other topic, as Gurneet mentioned earlier, we always strive to bridge the gap between what is theoretical and what is practical. So we strive that you are able to apply whatever you learn in our program so that you stay relevant in your field of work. So even if this is an exam prep program, we've designed it in the same spirit that you see the practical insight into a project, and so that enhances your understanding about LEED. So it's just not reading something and just passing the exam. So how is this 2-week online course format designed? This is a blended learning program, which means it combines a live webinar component, just like this webinar that you are a part of, where the instructor is talking to you, and combining that with recorded video modules. These are pre-recorded, right, ahead of time. So the live webinars have a certain schedule, just like this one that you are part of. And the recorded videos can be taken at your time. So you have a lot of flexibility in how you take the video lessons. At the same time, there is some component which is planned. And this is planned such that you can easily plan your calendar ahead of time. For the webinar section, the live webinar sessions that we will be conducting that using the GoToWebinar platform, which is what we're using right now. And of course, all recordings will be available in case you're not able to attend it for any reason. However, we highly recommend that none of the live webinars are missed out, because that is your chance to interact with the lead experts from EDS and your first-hand opportunity to ask your questions to the lead experts. In every webinar, we will have a panel of lead experts who will come and showcase lead projects. So I'll explain that in a minute. The second part of the blended program is the e-learning modules. You would take these e-learning modules, the pre-recorded video modules, on this platform called Udemy. We will give you access to all the material on Udemy so that you can take the modules at your pace, but you can follow the schedule that we have set up so that you can stay on the course in order to finish the course. And you could also take these modules on your iOS or Android phones as well. So in terms of platforms, you could use your laptop or your phone in order to complete these video modules. Every module that you will be given, there are total 10 of them. There is a 20-question quiz at the end of every video module. So that means, if there are 10 modules, then you're already taking 200 questions. And the key to Lead GA exam prep is to take as many questions as you can. And so we have designed that keeping in mind that you are able to do that much of practice. So you're very confident before you give the actual exam. So here is a screenshot from the Udemy app, of a quiz question. And the third is we have a Google Classroom where you can interact with your peer group. Since this is an online course, as I mentioned last time, we had 99 participants. This time also we will have a batch. So this is not just you doing your work in a silo, but you get to interact with this big peer group from all over the world. And you have a chance to touch base with them even after the program is done. So there is a lot of benefit of doing that. So you feel that you're part of this group, and each one encourages the other to, finish the course on time and even give the exam. So we've seen that this works very well, where even the questions are exchanged on this platform. So this is one platform where all the course material will be shared. The quizzes will be shared. You can connect with your classmates. You can ask any questions and use this as a discussion forum so that you can avoid sending emails. Next, we'll come to the schedule. As you know, it's a 2-week program, right? So every week we will have 2 live webinars. So you need to only plan your calendar for those 2 webinars. In this webinar, we will recap the concepts covered in the video lessons that has been given to you before the webinar. We'll also talk about very interesting case studies, lead project case studies by experts from EDS. And this is what will give you that practical insight of what goes into a lead certification. So you can ask them as many questions as you want about the project. We will also do some fun quiz questions just to give you some more practice. during the webinar. And of course, there's a Q&A part. Week 1 will give you 6 online modules, and week 2 will give you 4 online modules. This is designed such that you can comfortably complete all the material over the 2 weeks, which is about 13 to 14 hours of content. So clearly, if you take out 1 hour a day, you should be able to do this in a very relaxed kind of pace without getting overwhelmed towards the end. And then comes week 3. So after our 2-week online course, you would have covered about 70%, 80% of the material. The rest of it is would be covered by taking practice test. So reading is one component, and then practicing the understanding of the theory into the quiz that will be given to you as an online platform. So week 3, we recommend that you only focus on practice test, and we will give you access to this online practice test. It's like a question bank, and it's like a real exam simulator. You have access to this for 2 months post the course, and you can take unlimited practice tests on our platform. So practice as much as you can. Right, and this is also, we've tried to design it so you get the feel of the actual exam. There are 100 questions, it's timed, and you also get a score over 200 at the end of the course. So you can also see whether you're able to complete the 100 questions in 2 hours or not. Right, again, the same thing can be taken on your mobile device as well. And so with that, in week 4, you are good to go to give the LEED exam and pass with a stellar score. So that's our kind of 4-week plan to crack the GA exam. Now, after the LEED GA exam, what do? You've become a LEED Green Associate. Now, it's important that you will need to maintain your LEED GA credential. The GBCI requires that you earn at least 15 continuing education hours within 2 years of passing the exam to maintain your LEED GA credential. And this can be earned by, in several methods. You could read articles which are verified for CE hours. You could take online modules which are verified for CE hours. You can even author an article which is also qualified here. The intent is that you stay in touch. Like I said before, you stay relevant. So if you are engaging in continuing education, that means you can stay relevant. Now, with this course, since we are education partners, USGBC education partners, we have all our courses which is approved for these CE hours, and they are there is a lot of variety of topics under the umbrella of sustainability. And when you sign up for our 2-week online course, you have access to 5 GBCI CE credits. So once you pass your exam, just send an email to us, and you will have access to these 5 credits. So 5 out of the 15 credits you can right away have access to because you've signed up for this program. Of course, you would need to clear the exam in reasonable time, and so by end of this year, you should be able to clear the exam to redeem these credits. So in a nutshell, as a summary, what do you get at the end of this 2-week program? You get access to 10 course modules. These are pre-recorded video modules. You have topic-specific quiz, 20 questions for each one of these modules. An opportunity to interact with experts from EDS in the weekly live webinar, 2 webinars in a week. You have access to an online practice test for 2 months after the program, where you can take unlimited number of mock test or an exam as much as you can. And you would also be given some additional reference study material. And finally, access to 5 GBCI credits after you become Lead Green Associate. Registering for the Lead GA exam is something which you could do by signing up on the USGBC website. If you don't have a login, just create one. It's very simple and pretty self-explanatory. Once you create a login, then it will take you to this link where you can go and take a date and pay the fee so that you can schedule a remotely proctored online exam. So for this, you would need to make sure that your computer has a camera and a microphone and a decent internet connection. And then, this exam will be remotely proctored by Prometrics Pro Proctor application. And finally, refunds. This is something a lot of people ask us. Is my fee refundable? So yes, if you cancel at least 30 days or more. No, if you cancel it's 2 days or less. So yes, if you cancel well in advance, then fees are refundable. We have extended our early bird registration, like early bird discount to register for our program until Independence Day, that is 15th August. So make most of it. The fee for the program is only 4,000, the early bird discount. Make most of it and register for the program. So that brings us to the final slide, and we'll be happy to take any questions. Please send them in the chat box so we start taking them. So there are a few questions which has already come in, and maybe we can start taking those first. The first question is, what exactly is a member and non-member of USGBC? Gaurav, would you like to take this question?
Yeah, I'll take it. So just to mention that USGBC is a member-driven organization. We work very closely with the various stakeholders, and there are various levels of membership. It can be organizational, silver, gold, and platinum members. So when we come into the costing of a project or for the credentialing, there are certain benefits which are given to the member organizations, and these benefits can be availed if you're appearing for examinations. So I would request all the participants to also check either with the organization or education institutes if their organization is a member. So to avail membership, obviously there is a certain cost which is attached, and a lot of organizations opt for membership at various stages depending upon the benefits that they want to avail.
Right, thank you.
We can take the next question. Yeah.
Sure. Is Lead GA applicable in all countries?
Yes, the Lead GA is applicable all across the world. You can take it anywhere. Now with the Lead GA being available through online, which is basically you can take the examination through the online metric system at the convenience of your own home. So this is available everywhere in the world. It is applicable everywhere in the world, and it is a mandatory requirement if you want to appear for a specialization. Before 2008, it was only a single program, but after 2008, there are certain changes which are done, and now you need to pick the Lead Green Associate as a mandatory requirement.
Right. Then the next question is the fee different for Lead exam if taken from home?
No, again, the fee is the same because it's been done by the metric organization, and they take it. Even if it's being done from the home, there are certain requirements which need to be fulfilled. So again, the cost remains the same.
Okay. And then the next question. What is GBCI credits? I think Maybe you can
I think,
elaborate a little bit more.
Yeah, I think maybe the question is about the credits in a rating system rather than the GBCI credit. Possibly, I think it is about the credits that we see any rating. So as I mentioned during my session, that LEED rating system is basically a point-based system, and there are certain credits, and each credit there are certain sections. Sections can be in energy, water, waste, materials, innovation, and then in these sections there are certain credits. Each credit may have weightage, and the points can be on those basis. This is the way the entire rating system is being divided to make it more easier for applicability in various projects.
Right. Somebody is asking that we have so many credentials like IGBC AP, GRIHA CP, GEM CP, and so on. So why should we go for LEED GA?
I think that's an excellent question and a query. And I think I did try to answer in the beginning in my session. So LEED is a global rating system, and it is present in most of the countries right now across the globe. So when you're looking at international projects, if you're looking at trying to give an international flavor to your projects and an international flavor to your own credentials, then definitely you would need to look at a LEED Green Associate. Because if let's say if I'm just talking from a perspective of a student, if a student is looking at doing a master's in US, Canada, or Europe, if they have a Green Associate or a LEED AP, they would be immediately recognized because that's the international rating system and a credential. If you're looking at other credentials, definitely they have their own importance, but they are available locally only.
Right. Thanks, Gaurav. I think that then, okay, we have some more questions. Am I eligible to appear on for the LEED GA being a student? Gurneet, you can take this one.
Yes, Deepa. Yes, you are eligible to appear for LEED GA. Anyone is eligible to appear for LEED GA. In fact, there was a school-going student of around 13 years of age. He is also given LEED GA and has also passed the LEED GA examination. So anyone can apply for LEED GA.
Right. The next question is, what is the difference between LEED GA and LEED AP? I think you already covered this. Probably can explain this again.
Yes. So basically, LEED GA is the foundation of these. So it's a 3-tier system, and LEED GA is the foundation which gives you an overview of LEED rating system. What are the different categories and what are the different intent in those categories without getting into the details. The second level is you get into LEED, you become a LEED accredited professional. So LEED GA stands for LEED Green Associate and LEED AP is accredited professional, where you specialize in one or more areas: building design plus construction, operation, maintenance, interior design. So that's the basic difference between GA and
Right. The next question is, I am not from an if I am not from an engineering background, but I have work experience of 15 plus years, can I take the LEED GA exam?
Yes, definitely you can take the LEED GA exam. And if you have got 15 years of experience, I think it should be a cakewalk for you.
Right. Okay. Another question is, how does it help being a member organization?
So as Gaurav has already explained, being a member, first thing is you get a visibility on GBCI, and you also get what they call the member benefits. So there are benefits related to reduction in registration fees, certification fees. People from your organization, they get benefit in terms of credential fees, credential maintenance fees, and if they want to purchase any document, they are also they get the benefit. So there are a whole list of benefits listed on GBCI website, and you can go through that. So that's the difference between being a member. So only an organization can be a member. I mean, it makes sense for an organization to become a member rather than an individual.
Then there are some questions with respect to the program, and I'll take those. The first question is, are you starting Lead BDC prep course? We are in the process of developing it, and we shall announce soon about that. The next question is, do we buy a particular manual before the course starts? You don't need to buy any additional course material for the exam. We will be giving you all the required study materials. So yeah, it will cover everything that you would need. The next question is, can I go for Lead GA and BD exam together? And would you recommend taking both exams separately or together? Technically, you can take Lead GA and the BD plus C, I think that's what you mean, exam together. So you would, it will be like a back-to-back, a 2+2, that's a 4-hour exam. And if you have sufficient experience in the industry, then you can take both together. But if you're just beginning your career, then we recommend that you first do the Lead Green Associate credential, and then get some work, probably some practical exposure, and then see which of the specialty is appropriate for you. Because there are many like BDC, IDC for interiors and O&M and so on. So that could probably help you better is what we would recommend. Another question is, do you have a course for sites rating system? Not yet, but that's an interesting area. If you've asked it, then we'll kind of maybe think about it, but not yet. The next question is, can you recommend ways to get the rest of the 10 CE credits after becoming Lead GA and having 5 from your course? Yes, sure. You can take the remaining credits again from our library. If you liked some of the courses from our library, you can take the others. And there is a USGBC education website where all of this information is there in terms of resources of earning this CE credentials, and that is also one source. Like that, there are various, and we will help you out with those once you get there. So that pretty much covers all the questions we've had so far. Feel free to get in touch with us. Our email is there on, let me just show you the screen. Right. So our email is right there, education@edsglobal.com. If you have any further questions related to GA in general, Lead in general, or about our program specifically, please feel free to get in touch with us. And do enroll soon, and hope this session was informative and useful for you to clear your queries. And we hope to see you soon in the class on 24th. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you all.
Thank you, Gurmeet and Gaurav.
Thank you, Deepa.
Thanks, Deepa.